Welcome to this special edition episode of Arcade Couch to cover everything that was announced at the Nintendo Direct for September. Lots of exciting stuff has come out of it. So tune in for this jam-packed special bonus episode. Here, I'm just going to go through notes I wrote down here as I was going. And if there's something I super need to know, I guess I've got a press release open as well that I can scan for information if I need to. The problem with these press releases, as a side note, so Nintendo sends through these press releases, like here's everything that happened at Nintendo Direct today, blah, 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 blah. They're never in order. They're always like what they deem most important to least important. But when we're doing the podcast, I prefer to just do it in the order that it happened. Yes.
It was released.
Yeah. So, you know, if anyone's listening and they're involved in PR and stuff like that, press releases for podcasters, I prefer them to be the way they're chronologically put out.
I mean, you can, in the opening paragraph, you can say you can list the most important stuff, but then put a list of everything in order.
Just put the list in order, please. That's all I'm asking, because it just makes my life easier. Anyway, all right.
Thank you.
So the first thing that opened the show was the thing we talked about last week. The rumored Overwatch got confirmed as true. So Overwatch is coming to Nintendo Switch on October 15th. After the Direct, there was confirmation that it will run at 30 frames per second, which I know if Kieran was still here, he would be like, oh,
it's not enough.
It's bullshit. Like, how am I supposed to play this at fucking 30 frames per second? I can barely play at 76, 78. I need fucking 120 or bust, bro.
I need all them frames.
Bro. But in my opinion, hitting 30 frames on the Switch is like, that's good. Like, that means it'll be good on the Switch to play. Like, it's not going to be a horrible mess to play.
Do you reckon that was actually like on Switch gameplay footage that was on the in the trailer?
Yeah, it didn't look super.
It looked pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it's because of the art style and like that sort of stuff. So it lends itself to any sort of
And there's not like, obviously, we've seen The Witcher, which is the biggest downgrade.
Yeah, that looks terrible. We'll get to that.
It doesn't have the backgrounds.
Yes.
That The Witcher has.
It's got a lot more buildings and stuff, like, obviously, to help.
Yeah.
Whereas The Witcher is like
to block stuff.
As The Witcher gets off further into distance, it's like it just
everything goes out of focus in like a meter.
Yeah, it turns into fucking a weird sludge mess that's kind of happening in the background. So the press release says Tracer, Mei, Hanzo, and other colorful characters from massively popular online game Overwatch are coming to Nintendo Switch. The fast-paced multiplayer game is scheduled to hit Nintendo Switch on 15th of October. Preload Nintendo Switch eShop later today. They did show, of course, in trailer as well. There are some like motion controls if you're playing. Like, you can play handheld, use gyroscopes, and these sorts of things. Of course, to play it properly, to play it online, and these sorts of things, you are going to need a Nintendo Online membership as well. So there, but the Nintendo is getting a lot more games, like proper, quote unquote, proper online competitive ones, because up until a point it was like, why would you have online unless you're like playing Splatoon online or something like that? At least now, between like you shit like Fortnite and this and whatever else, there's enough variety for more people to potentially jumping onto online memberships, I suppose. Next thing they showed was Luigi's Mansion. They showed off a whole bunch of different floors and sections. So like a casino floor, dance floor, graveyard or something. Pirate was one of them. Basically all these really ridiculous different sections of the house, the mansion, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but it's cool nonetheless. It means that the different levels and areas of the game are going to feel way different, and that's good because I think up until this trailer, they'd mostly just been showing like stuff that seemed like typical house indoor creepy stuff. It seemed
like Luigi's Mansion
stuff.
It
just seemed like typical Luigi's Mansion stuff. So
like a haunted house one,
yeah. So this was good to see, of course. Added a bit more variety to the sort of stuff that you're going to be able to play in this. Press release says every floor of the Haunted Hotel in Luigi's Mansion 3 is a different theme, including the pyramid setting of Tomb Suites, a disco floor, and a pirate-themed restaurant, and the newly announced Scream Park Party Mode. 2 to 8 players can battle against each other as Luigi team and Gooigi team. Even with only one Nintendo Switch console, the teams will compete to see who can defeat the more ghosts, collect the most coins, or break the most targets. The Luigi's Mansion 3 opens its doors, of course, to its haunted hotel on the 31st of October. The multiplayer modes, nothing. That doesn't do anything for me. It was seeing the different floors. I was like, oh, this is exciting, new, whatever. But the multiplayer stuff, I'm like, I'm never going to play this. Let's be real. Like, that's not something I'm going to, even if I had local friends, I couldn't see myself like whipping that out. Like, let's see, get them all ghosts. There's so many better local co-op games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next thing they showed was Super Kirby Clash, which is a free to start, is the way it was worded, game that is out today. It says here, to defeat bosses this weekend, it'll take a whole team of Kirbys. In this free-to-start multiplayer action game, players can choose from 4 unique roles and join up to 3 other players to take down tough bosses. They can puff up power by crafting weapons or use gem apples, which can be earned as in-game currency or purchased using real-world money to recharge Vigor, a resource that recharges over time. Unlock new quests or trade for weapons, armor, support items, or stickers. Players can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend to play multiplayer on one Nintendo Switch console, play local wireless on multiple consoles with up to 4 players, and if they have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, they can even play online. It's available now. This looked meh.
It looks like Kirby Smash.
I guess.
Just like the way the screen's set out. And like, obviously, it's Kirby, and he's most known from Smash at this point, I think.
You reckon?
But yeah.
I suppose he was the star of the last one. So that is a thing.
Kind of, I guess. But yeah, it definitely reminded me of Smash more than any other game. Obviously, just with the multiple Kirbys on the same screen, which you can have in Smash. Mm-hmm. And just all of them fighting the same bad guy. I mean, it could be interesting. It's free to start, so it's worth a shot. It'd be interesting to see how much there is.
Yeah.
Microtransactions, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That's my I mean, it's out now, unfortunately, as of recording, because we're recording this at the end of the day the direct was shown.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to download anything, and there's a whole bunch actually in this direct that's like, it's out now, it's out now. So
it was a thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing that was happening. But yeah, I probably won't download this to try even. It's like probably not going to even bother, to be honest. So next thing they show was Trials of Mana Remake, the continuing thing of remaking all these Trials games. This one's coming out April 24th, 2020. I think it looks I've never had any I've never played any of these games at all. I've never had like a huge fascination with them either, but I will say I kind of like the way a lot of these more recent remake things are looking, because they're changing them from turn-based RPGs
2D.
to 3D, like brawler type things, more like your Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 15 battle system. More real time. You're moving around, controlling the characters.
I think Trials was a little bit more actiony than
the last one.
The other games of the same era.
Yeah.
So
I do have to point out though, because when I was watching that fucking thing, there was a point in this trailer where I'm like, we weren't like, we'll remake the game and we'll fix these anime titties, but we'll fucking still keep.
Yeah, I had the same thought. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes I see stuff because it's not so much in games anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like when it comes up, I'm like, oh, and maybe I don't watch enough anime so I'm like I'm not like tuned, like out tuned to see fucking ridiculous fucking anime shit. But I was like, okay, there we are. That's a thing.
Yeah.
And in a world where people online are complaining about, and well, a particular fuckhead of a YouTuber I saw that today was complaining about the Final Fantasy VIII remake covering up the girl characters more and all this stuff. I'm like, well, this guy ain't going to be complaining about this game because they've kept everything rock solid.
Trials, no. I know. Yeah. I think it's the coloring of the cleavage that makes it.
All right, talking about coloring of cleavage. Return of Obra Dinn was the next game shown, so that's coming fall 2019. This one is coming also to Xbox and PS4 and everything, so that's good.
I tell you what, this trailer made me learn what the Return of Obra Dinn is about.
Did you still?
Even though we had Nick on one of our shows come and talk about Return of Obra Dinn. I now have a clear idea of what the game is.
Yeah, so to then invest it. I've got it on PC. I brought it with full intentions to play it last year before we did Game of the Year deliberation type stuff. Didn't get time to get to it. And then once that period passed, it just kind of, I still wanted to play it, but it was like I felt no urgency to get to it because I really wanted to see if it was all the hype and everything. But now if I wanted to, I could play it on my Switch or my PS4, whatever, Xbox, whatever. But so it's obviously it won a heap of awards, including what did it win last year? The massive Game of the Year one. Fuck, can't remember.
Art design, maybe
writing something. Fuck, I don't know. It's a more of an indie. It's more of a inner circle darling, I guess you'd call it. Like it was winning more awards from developer events than your game awards and these types of things. So I know at like the what was the one that Tim Schafer hosted? Oh fuck, you know the one.
DICE? No, not DICE. The Game Developer Awards.
I think something like that. He won the big one at that, for example, and that's like
it won the Game Awards for won the Game Award for art direction.
Okay, art direction, yeah.
And also won at the Game Developer Choice Awards for Best Narrative.
Best Narrative, yeah. I think he came more than that, though. I remember seeing him come up like 4 or 5 times. And I think...
He got nominated for a bunch of stuff.
Because I swear, like, he came up for like the 3rd, 4th, 5th time or something ridiculous like that. And it was just like, yep, thanks. Like, I've been up here a bunch today. I'll stop saying things.
I think you're thinking of Cory Barlog. It's fine.
Sorry. No. Fucking Cory Barlog. So this Return to Obra Dinn is just a really unique art style game where you literally go around and you kind of just trying to piece together what happened on this boat is the whole thing, and you're doing that by kind of rewinding time and investigating characters and slowly putting pieces together of what happened to each character, and then they'll tell you the whole story. So are you more keen to pick this up now, or are you just like, yeah, I understand what it is now, but I'm still not interested?
Number 2.
I'll have number 2, please, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing they showed was Little Town Hero. Of course, this is the game that was originally revealed as Town from Game Freak, new IP from Game Freak. We got proper gameplay this time, kind of somewhat more of an explanation of what exactly the game is, alongside the announcement that all of the music in the game is being done by Toby Fox. Honestly, I think of everything, that's the part that made me go, I kind of want to just play it for the music now. Because
well, you just wait, they might release the soundtrack on Spotify.
I know, but I won't have sometimes
you won't have
the context that makes songs cooler when you hear them within the game, and you know what I mean. Then they kind of have more like epicness to them or something like that. If you don't know, Toby Fox does the Undertale and Deltarune games, and when I played Undertale for the first time last year, I was pretty much obsessed with listening to the soundtrack for a solid couple months there. So, looking forward to this. The gameplay though is like I don't even know. It's like a rock paper scissors type scenario. It seems like.
That's what I was about to say. It seems like there's some sort of strategy involved. I guess it's more like a card game sort of element. You've got certain moves that will counter other moves and that kind of thing, I guess. Apparently all the attacks are ideas.
Yeah, whatever that means.
But clearly it says throw and slam and pelt, so there's some sort of attacking, but yeah. I mean, it's different to what they're doing with Pokemon. At least you got more than 4 options.
Yeah, and this so the thing here in the press release says, in this new RPG from Game Freak, the developers of the Pokemon games, players must battle monsters and gather support from townspeople, all while staying within the borders of a single town. Because of course that was the pitch originally. We're making an RPG where you never leave the town. And that was like, I mean, most RPGs, the whole thing is like the game starts as you leave the town. So it's kind of flipping everything on its head. Little Town Hero, which also features music by Undertale creator Toby Fox, makes a stand on Nintendo Switch on 16th of October. So the gameplay, it was too hard for me to wrap my head around with that one video, I guess. But I'm like, I'm intrigued. I like the art style. I like the concept. I like the music that we're going to be getting. I like the developer. So it's ticking lots of boxes, obviously, for me to be intrigued. But in that little bit of gameplay we got, I couldn't fully comprehend what exactly it all is. But it definitely does seem like a this beats that, this beats that, this beats that, or you can have a thing.
Yeah, the moves seem to have like a attack and defense, and then that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's intriguing. I'm sure we'll see some more gameplay before October.
Yeah. Hope so.
The only other thing is it's surprising that it's coming out October.
Yeah,
like a month before Pokemon.
And then they're really not putting much hype, I guess, into it. So it makes me wonder if it's actually not going to be that big of a game. If it is more of a like semi-experimental game, I guess, for Game Freak. You know, like a mid-tier type game. Yeah, like it's not your Pokemon level. It's not like 2 hours long or whatever. But maybe it's just like a 8 to 10 hour, 8 to 12 hour RPG. You know, how long can you really have something go within one town? Really? Makes me wonder.
Well, it depends on how big the town is.
I guess.
What kind of secrets are in this town?
Yeah, I guess that's a possibility. Yeah, but on top of
just a bunch of fetch quests.
Yeah, no, please no. It would but also just because like the release date's right around the corner and they only just announced it and they've done pretty much no like information drops for it. Just makes me feel like I don't want to say they have no faith in it, but it does just make it seem like it's more of a we're testing things out, we're seeing how this is going, maybe we'll do a bigger one next, this sort of thing. But yeah. So that was Little Town Hero. Next thing was some Smash stuff. So Banjo and Kazooie is out now. Out today of recording, out by the time you're listening, of course. Cool, great. They none of us play Smash, so of course none of this news is blowing anyone's minds off here at the Explosion Network.
I saw Bryce from House of Mario was happy.
Super excited. So. Yep. Happy for you. Happy for all of these Banjo Kazooie people. Next thing they announced was the next fighter, which is Terry from Fatal Fury. So this got leaked sort of ahead of time as well. I think it was like a week or so ago. There was all these rumors.
I don't know if it was like specific.
It wasn't specific. It was more to do with the Neo Geo thing. It
was like SNK or whatever.
Yeah. So everyone, when it came off the logo and it like went up to the SNES or whatever the fuck it was, and like, okay, here we go. Yeah, we're going up to Neo Geo system. But then it was like, which character is it going to be? And as someone
they teased it.
Yeah, as someone sitting here going, I have no idea who any of these characters are. I wasn't like holding on to the edge of my seat waiting to see where it goes.
I mean, they don't deserve it if they can't catch an envelope. Yeah, I don't know how long they're going to last.
I will say, as much as I'm like, I have no idea who any of these characters are, at least the video was, yeah, they always do a good job with these Smash fighter introduction videos. So the press release says Terry Bogard, I'm not sure. Terry Bogard comes to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, releasing in November. Terry Bogard from the classic SNK fighting franchise Fatal Fury joins Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a player fighter. Terry Bogard is part of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass, which includes 5 challenger packs as they are released, each with 1 DLC fighter, 1 stage, and multiple music tracks. Blah, 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 blah. So the other thing that they announced with this is that at the end they're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's only one more fighter to be revealed. Because of course, when the game came out, they were like, we're going to do 5 DLC fighters. And then they announced that they are...
How angry are people going to be if that last fighter isn't like someone they want? There's going to be so much hate and anger directed at Sakurai and the Smash
People are never
team.
going to be happy.
I don't know what they're going to do.
I think because they put this character in, which I don't know, maybe it's just maybe this character is a passion project character for Sakurai or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like this is a character that I've ever seen anyone ask for.
No one's clamoring for this character.
Maybe so maybe it was just a passion thing for him.
Probably some fighting fans.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe the even ground there is they're like, we're going to announce this. It'll probably piss people off, but then also at the same time we're announcing that more fighters are coming. We're going beyond the initial announcement of 5 fighters. So no one get too scared, because I think if they didn't announce that, everyone would have been like, there's only one left. Like, what do we do? Like, oh my god, what are we gonna do?
And it's gonna be Tracer.
Yeah. Well, a lot more credence goes to that now that Overwatch is actually officially on Switch, I suppose.
On Switch, yeah. And now that they can have potentially infinite more DLC fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't put a cap on it this time. They were like, more is coming. Okay. More is more. 1 or 2 or 5 or 6.
And it's important to know that these future characters aren't included in the fighter pass.
No, it'll be a separate, I presume. Whenever they announce
You'll have to pay piecemeal.
Maybe they'll announce it. They're like, we're doing 5 more. Here's
season 2, yeah.
Fighter Pass 2 for $33 or whatever. It's around $30 or something. Okay, so
smart move. Like, just to keep the game in the people's consciousness, and keep people interested and keep people putting money into it.
Well, these announcements are consistently like hype videos. Like even this one, no one knows who the fuck this character is, but people are still like, fuck yeah, Smash. Like,
cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if they always even it out. They're like characters for fanboy, fangirls, whatever. You got Banjo-Kazooie over here, right? And then character for more just the fighter enthusiast people who are more into like, you know, maybe at some stage this game will literally have like a famous fighter from every fighter franchise ever. And then Super Smash Bros. Literally just becomes, as the title, the ultimate fighting game. Like,
mean, the only other thing you got to think is they're never going to be able to make another Super Smash Bros.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I don't think Nintendo is planning to make another console anytime soon.
I don't think they have any intentions to, but
if they did, it's like just port this one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure last time Sakurai was like, "I'm done with the Wii U one," but then he's done this, so
yeah,
can't help himself. Keeps coming back.
I know. Maybe he's not as involved as. I'm sure it doesn't take as much of his time to like create one character every 3 months.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know about games development. Hit me up at Ashley Hobley on Twitter. Tell me how wrong I am.
Tell me how to develop games. Someone's just like, well, 1 out of 100 page tweet thread. So the next thing they showed was Link's Awakening. They went over the chamber dungeons, and which is basically, we'd seen this all before, but the new addition was they said that the levels that you put together, because this was a question we had last time. It was like, okay, so if I put together a level, can I upload them to for other people to play? The answer is no. What you can do though is save your levels to amiibos, give your amiibo to a friend, and then they can play your dungeon, which is not something that anyone's basically going to do. But it's a feature.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of effort.
Who's going to do that? Oh man, I've created the best fucking Link's Awakening dungeon.
Created the best dungeon
ever.
Friend that lives across the ocean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this amiibo, and then I'm going to mail you the amiibo.
Let me just head down to EB Games and buy a pre-owned fucking Link so I can mail you this level. That's a good idea for a video. If anyone like or something like that's a skit. That's something, you know. That's a funny bit. That's a bit.
Let's cut this out so we can do it later.
Hashtag Copyright Explosion Network 2019. The next thing they showed was Dragon Quest 11 Elusive Age S, or however the fuck that title comes together. Definitive Edition, whatever. Crystal package, awesome edition of the game. Basically, they announced that it's getting Champions Pack free DLC on day one, which will give you a whole bunch of costumes and stuff. I automatically recognized, because as I've always said, the only one of these games I ever put heaps of time into was 8, and straight away I recognized the costume for the character from the hero from
the orange one.
It's like the pirate one. Is that the orange one?
Yeah, it's like blue and orange, right?
It's like he's got like a.
It looks like Goku.
Yeah. But other than that, honestly, every time I see the game, I'm kind of like, because there was a period where I'm like, wouldn't I play this on my PlayStation so I could have like the 4K crispness on my TV and stuff? But every time I see it, I'm like, you know, actually, I think I'm at the stage where if I did want to play this, I'd probably just play it on my Switch now, because I'm like, yeah, it's RPG, go for gold, do what you need to do.
Free demo available now. So.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I mean, I've got
see if it gets your hooks
into. I do have things to play, but the good thing about that demo,
not that you have much time.
Yeah, I don't fucking much. The thing with the demo, at least, I like how this is becoming a thing, and there's another demo coming up where it's got a similar thing, of course, and they did this for what's the fuck. The RPG last year, Octopath Traveler, right, as well, where it was like you play the demo, save your progress, pick up when you start the game. And this Dragon Quest demo that's out, apparently, it's got like 10 hours. It's like the first fucking 10 hours of the game or something, apparently. Like, it's so much to the point where I could actually see myself buying the game.
Like 1% of the story.
You know, but like, this is the thing where I'm like, 10 hours, are you kidding me? Like, I guarantee if I brought this game, I'd probably play it for less than 10 hours and then be like, I have no time to play this anymore and I follow up. So I'm like, I can just download the demo, play it for as long as I probably would have if I bought it anyway.
Yeah.
It's probably the way to go. So maybe I'll have to download it. the next thing they showed was a game I'd never heard of before, but as soon as they started talking about it, I was like, okay, so this is apparently a thing that was, I guess, from Japan, and I'd never heard of it or whatever. So Tokyo Mirage Sessions hash, whatever they said it. They actually said sharp. Yeah, Tokyo Mirage. They said sharp in the thing. I just remember. Tokyo Mirage Sessions sharp FE Encore. Which when the guy was saying in the direct...
Oh, I get it. Because the hash in like musical terms is like a sharp.
Yeah. So, but when you're saying it in the thing, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here with your Final Fantasy bullshit fucking name. Kingdom Hearts HD 3.8, 2.8 HD pack sharp edition. So the press release, this one says, the game that brought together the worlds of Fire Emblem and Atlas is coming to Nintendo Switch. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore is the Nintendo Switch version of the acclaimed RPG that originally launched on the Wii U. Probably the reason I never heard of it. This new version of the game contains a new song that wasn't in the original, new story elements, and the ability to take it on the road. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore, fuck my life, launches for Nintendo Switch on the 17th of January. So this seems like a fighter dancer game or something? Like, what the fuck did you gather from it?
I've no freaking clue. It seems like an RPG with like a singing twist. Musical twist. I
gotta be honest, I was intrigued. Like, it just depends on exactly what the dealio is here, because I mean, I've no massive attachment to Fire Emblem. My first Fire Emblem game is Three Houses, right? But just seeing it, I was like, if this is some sort of dancing game, I kind of... It says, okay, so the Wikipedia says the game combines gameplay, narrative, and aesthetics elements from Atlas's Shin Megami Tensei and Nintendo's Fire Emblem series, blah, blah, blah. Taking place in modern Tokyo and featuring real-life locations such as Shibuya and Harajuku. The game centers around evil beings known as mirages who seek the harvest on Angie Gnome's performer from humans and are responsible for several disappearances. Blah, 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 blah. Where does it say gameplay? Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Teenage. To help them, the main cast are allied by friendly mirages inspired by characters from multiple Fire Emblem games. The story is split up into several chapters, with the player also able to participate in side stories for various playable and supporting characters, as well as the quests, blah, 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 blah. The game alternates between real-world Tokyo and Idolist Sphere's alternate dimension, where enemy mirages roam. Players control main protagonist Itsuki as he explores both worlds, interacting with various characters. Players are able to earn money from battles, purchase things, blah, blah, blah. So it is actually a battle game. So you switch between a battle thing, there's a dungeon in it, it's turn-based combat. Mirages take turns to perform actions such as attacking, casting spells, and using items. The player's party consists of 3 main characters, with the exception of the main character who can be swapped out and in outside of battle. Similar to both Fire Emblem, Shin Megami Tensei, battle systems, party members and enemies each have strengths, weaknesses against certain types of physical attacks, such as swords, arrows, etc. Blah, 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 blah. So it is an actual RPG. I don't know how much the song element comes into it from my quick squiz across the Wikipedia page there. But it does sound like it's just a proper like turn-based.
Could just be an aesthetic thing.
Yeah, must just be an aesthetic thing. Because that just makes it sound like that just sounds like a typical RPG to me, you know, like it's got some sort of battle system, whatever else. So the trailer definitely didn't tell me that though. The trailer was like, that's a thing. Okay, so next thing was where I was up to here. This was a weird one. So they announced that Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise, is coming February 2020. This wasn't like a reveal for the Switch. This was a straight up reveal. This game had never been announced before, and we now know it's coming. They also announced that Deadly Premonition Origins is out today, out now for the Nintendo Switch. I tried to play this back in the day, and it was, it's a struggle. It's a really weird game because it's reviewed terribly, right? Deadly Premonition, but to a lot of people, it's considered like a cult hit.
It's got a Metacritic of 70 to 59, depending on platform.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember like, I think
woeful.
I think in the press release, if I find it here.
So apparently in the press release, not the one that we got. It says, to date, Deadly Premonition has split reviewers down the middle. Destructoid awarded a 10 out of 10, saying Judge is a piece of entertainment as a game that consistently surprises, amazes, and leaves jaws hanging. I have no choice but to say that Deadly Premonition goes above and beyond. Mm-hmm. At the other end of the scale, IGN named it terrible, awarding it just 2 out of 10. It said, awful in nearly every way, terrible controls, terrible pacing, terrible sound effects, terrible visuals.
So I always knew about this game because back in the day, I'll like the number one podcast I used to listen to when this game released originally in the PS3 era was GameScoop. And when this game came out, I'm pretty sure for months on end, it was basically a meme for the podcast. Like, there was always someone arguing either for it or against it for months on end. It was one of those games that I didn't need to play because I just heard people talk about it so much on a weekly basis that I'm like, do I even need to play this at this point? I feel like I've played the game because I've listened to people talk about this fucking game so much. I know like people like Alana Pierce is huge fans. Pretty sure I used to hear like Lucy O'Brien on the Australian podcast talk about it quite a lot as well. So like the IGN UK podcast, I used to listen to that. People on that used to talk about it all the time too. So in my mind, it's just like this weird cult game, I guess.
Polarizing.
Yeah, like people that love it, and people that never heard of it, and people that hate it, hate it, I guess. But it is quite an odd game.
Yep. So yeah.
It's like an investigation thing.
Almost 10 years after it came out, we're getting a sequel.
Yep. And quite soon, February 2020. So
and coming to Switch.
Yep. So yeah, I haven't
oh, interesting. Apparently it holds the Guinness World Record for the most critically polarizing survival horror game.
Wouldn't put it past it, to be honest. There you go.
No, that's literally what it says in Wikipedia.
Fuck.
There's no links, so I don't know if it's valid.
Well, we'll choose to believe it. Yeah, so I'm like, do I try out the first one again? Maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's on the Switch now. There's an option here. It exists now. But yeah, that was certainly one of the. I'm like, because as soon as that started, I was like, this is Deadly Premonition.
That's like one of like 3 really weird.
Yeah. It could only be one of a couple
ones in this,
like low budget looking games like that. If you know what I mean, like the certain just like.
Yeah, we'll get to the other weird ones in this.
So next thing was this was a really cool announcement, I think. So Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition is out now on Nintendo Switch. That's really cool, obviously, to take that game on the go. I tried getting into it on my old PC, but behind the scenes, obviously, and I've talked about it on the podcast. My old PC gave me the shits quite a lot, and it's that game used to just make it want to die, so I kind of stopped playing it. But this is cool, and it's also really cool that you can now you got cross save, cloud save with your Steam account. So that means you can sit at home, play, mouse and keyboard, go for it. You're like, fuck you, I'm going to go on a holiday. Transfer your save over to your Switch, continue playing on your go. And this is like the perfect kind of game for that sort of cross save pollination type thing to happen there. So I think that's really cool how that's just part of it, built in, good to go type thing.
Yeah, that's pretty genius.
Pretty good.
So, yeah.
Can't complain there. Next thing that they announced, fucking Pete Hines showed up. I'm like, hey, Pete, what do you got for me today? Something Doom related? Yes, it was.
Bethesda.
There we go.
Another version of...
Have Dooms.
Another version of Skyrim.
Yeah, like we've got Skyrim Joy-Con edition. What's that, Pete? Well, Dylan, it's Skyrim, yeah, but you can only play with motion controls of the Joy-Con. Right, Pete, fucking, yeah, cool. No, but it was Doom 64.
That wouldn't be terrible.
It could be worse. Doom 64 is coming out November 22nd, so this is now kind of completing the Doom re-releases stuff, because obviously Doom 1, 2, and then 3 were put out a couple months ago at QuakeCon, and now Doom 64. But this was long rumored as well, so this is now officially a thing coming out. So, but this is probably one of the more popular, apart from like the originals, I would say. Like a lot of people have a soft spot for Doom 64, so I think a lot of people this will do pretty well, I feel, for a certain fan base type thing. And
I feel like they went, sorry, Switch fans, we can't give you the new Doom, so we'll give you Doom 64.
I reckon that Doom will come eventually. I just don't. It's not coming day one, obviously.
Eventually,
I think that I think they'll just work on it post-release or something. I reckon it'll come out within 6 months of Doom's release. That's what I'll say now. I reckon Doom Eternal will be out within 6 months of its release on Nintendo Switch. Stick that in your calendar. Next thing they announced was Rogue Company. So this is an online game coming out in 2020. Online third-person shooter of some sort. Looked like a game where you shoot people and it's online. That's my review.
Well, it's a high-res studios game, so the people behind Smite and Realm Royale, so it kind of looks like that art style. It looks like a very dumbed down version of Overwatch or something like that, a hero shooter kind of game.
I guess so. Yeah, it's a bad one. It didn't do enough to make me be like, is this going? Do I try this out? No, just. I mean, whatever.
I assume it's got to be free to play when it comes out.
Well, the other ones are, so.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it's not.
Yeah. I don't know if it actually says here. Rogue Company, 5v5 online shooter from Hi-Res Studios. In his new IP, players can play against friendlies or instantly match up online with similarly skilled team in a variety of objective-based modes. Mercenaries can be fully customized to match the player's skills. Rogue Company sneaks up on Nintendo Switch 2020. Doesn't say anything about the thing, so there you go. So next stuff we got was a bunch of Pokemon Sword and Shield stuff. So first they showed off fashion. #fashion. You're going to be able to change up all your outfits and your clothes and stuff more than.
That's a first.
No, they've had it in other games.
Like change,
not to this degree.
Like
the other ones you could change like tops and like jeans and
hair and eyes and that stuff.
I haven't played the last couple of generations, so I'm thinking off my head that I've seen in videos. I don't think so. Not that I know.
No, I think you just get like a set face at the start of the game, and then that's
I don't know if you could do head like that stuff you're saying. So, this is way more customizable for sure, though. Either way.
I tell you what, the other thing is Pokemon. They just need to start a fashion line because some of
those stuff
looks pretty cool. No, like of the actual outfits in the game, not just shirts with Pokemon on them.
I mean,
between this and what they do in Pokemon Go. Just let me buy those clothes.
I wouldn't put it past them. It wouldn't be a terrible idea because a lot of Japanese companies actually think about the whole. You remember that thing with Lightning?
It's either that or other people are going to make it. So
do you remember that thing for Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 where they turned her into like a model and had her like sell her clothes that she wore and she was modeling them all and stuff?
No, but that sounds like something that would happen.
That is the other thing that happened. Yeah. So yeah, going to be able to customize outfits, all these sorts of things. That's really cool. I'll say the one thing that I couldn't help but note is where they're like, you can do makeup and stuff now. And I was like, please don't tell me you can only do makeup on the fucking girls. I know it's not gonna, it's not the end of the world thing, but of course I can't help but be like, let me pretty up my boy too. You know, what if I want to fucking put some shit on? You know?
Yeah.
Just saying, Game Freak. Right? Next thing they showed was Pokemon Camp. So you're going to be able to set up. This was rumored as well for quite some time, but Pokemon Camp, set up a camp, take your Pokemon out, pet them, play them, be BFS with them. Basically, this is basically this game's equivalent of like stuff they've done previously, be it fashion shows and whatever.
Feels like an extension of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Patting them.
Combating them,
cheering them up.
Yeah, seems like the next step.
Yeah, it's that sort of stuff. And then the other thing you're going to be able to do is visit other players' camps up to a max of 3 or 4. It said or something. I don't know if I can see the thing here fast enough.
Yeah. It was be interesting to see what sort of like actual effects it has.
I presume that you'll just during the journey, players can camp anywhere at any time, anywhere. While there, players can play with Pokemon and get to know them better. In the new wild area, players can visit other players' camps as well. Up to 4 players and their Pokemon can hang out at a camp together. Pokemon Camp is also a great place to cook up some curry, because of course this is the next thing, on rice. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, there are many types of delicious curry and rice that can be registered in the curry decks.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna...
You know what I think, Ash?
Fill up the curry decks.
You got all these fucking people out here, right? They're all out here wannabes. I want to be the next fucking Pokemon master. I want to complete my Pokemon Dex. You know what? I'm not fucking 12 anymore. Over that shit. You can take your Pokedex and your fucking complete Pokedex and shove it up your ass. You know what I want to be? I want to be the next Curry Dex master.
Yeah. You can have an actual career once you're done finished with it.
What are these people who win in the Pokemon League doing? They're taking their winnings, they're going home, getting depressed, having problems, right? Getting married, having kids. What am I?
Yeah, those Pokemon have to retire.
What am I going to be doing when I finish my Curry Dex? Going to be going off to my culinary career, you know?
Yeah.
Me and Gordon Ramsay.
I love how it's just like it's a traditional. The people of the Galar region love this particular dish. Curry on rice. As opposed to curry on what?
I don't get the connection, or am I missing something? Because obviously this game, we've always been like, it's like a British thing.
It's British.
Is curry?
Well, I think there's a large like Indian like immigrant.
I guess like, yeah, you're right. I guess like, segment, so. That, I guess, but I mean, is that it, or are they just like curry? Fuck it. But I mean, that you are right. That is I guess if he was to pull,
and then it's also still a Japanese game. Yeah, so.
I bet if he was like doing any.
Although the first curry they showed was sausages curry, so
Scottish.
Nothing more English than sausages.
Yeah. They're like, we want to put this, so yeah, we'll do it. So yeah, you're gonna be cooking up curry in this game and all this sort of stuff. Cool. I mean, Pokemon games always have a thing with cooking. They've been in them since Gold, Silver. No, well, could you cook Gold, Silver? Maybe release Ruby, Sapphire. Whatever one you could start cooking up berries and turning them into other stuff.
You can mix berries
and whatever else and.
Ruby, I think.
Yeah, I struggle to think, but
there was some sort of machine or something.
So they've always had experimentation with cooking stuff and whatever else. So this is just continuation of that. This time it's just, hey, go mad, get curry, go curry mad. Next thing they announced was 2 new Pokemons, right? So I'll read off the thing here to make sure I don't get the names wrong. The first, I don't know what order to do these in, because I'll say we're going to rate them, of course. That's the ongoing tradition, right? So the first Pokemon was, I'll just read the whole thing. Polteageist is a ghost-type Pokemon and makes a home for itself by hiding among dishes at hotels and restaurants. Its body is made of tea, and it may even let a trusting trainer have a taste of its tea.
I don't like that. It sounds sort of...
when they said it in the thing, right. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah. Both of these, it wasn't...
Oh, really?
They didn't think it through.
You're going to go there, do what you need to do. Eh? Ooh,
yeah.
I like what's going on there. So Polteageist, I'm going to be honest, the design, I'd give it like a...
Not good.
It's not great. It's fine. The name, Polteageist.
Top notch.
10 out of 10. Like... Fucking 10 out of 10.
If there was ever a Pokemon for Simon from Apple Slice,
it's this one.
It's Polteageist.
Yeah, that's his fucking got the puns for days. So what are you going to rate Polteageist?
What are these out of again?
10. I can't remember if that's what we've always been doing, but 10, it is now.
I don't know, like a 5.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the pun is great, but it doesn't look very interesting.
I'll go 7. I'm saying it doesn't look great, but the name has me. You know, if
names are important.
If I put my hand over it, the name and the illusion is
enough.
Is enough. You know. So, the next one that was announced, it says the flying and water type Pokemon Cramorant, I believe is how you say it.
We'll find out soon.
Cramorant.
We actually did find out. We just can't remember how to pronounce it.
Will swallow absolutely anything that looks hearty enough. It has exclusive ability called Gollop Missile.
No, the way they said it in the trailer was it'll swallow anything that it can fit in its mouth.
Including Polteageist.
Polteageist tea.
It has an exclusive ability called Gulp Missile. While using surf or dive in battle, it will counter when attacked. So in the thing they showed that it uses surf, it comes out of surf, it has a fucking fish in its mouth, it gets attacked by this Machamp or Machoke or whatever the fuck it was. It was a Machoke. They attacked by the Machoke.
Confirming there's normal fish.
In the sea, apparently.
In the Pokemon world, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen
they've shown it before.
What
do you reckon all these fish Pokemon, the seagulls and gold swallows and whatever the fucking things they
just eat other Pokemon, right?
Come on. I mean, yeah, they probably do. Let's be honest. They probably do. We just don't see that. But yeah, so it gets attacked and then it fucking spits this. It's like a counter attack. It spits the missile back. So that's pretty cool. What are you rating this one?
I'll give this a 7.
You're rating this higher than Poltergeist. Very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna. I
like the design.
I don't mind the design. The name isn't exciting, unfortunately. From a gameplay perspective, this counterattack, I'm a big fan of an instant counterattack. That sounds fucking great. So yeah, I'll go 7.5. I'll go 7.5. You know, I feel like its ability gets it up there alone. Pretty cool ability. Okay, so moving on from Pokemon. SNES games coming to Nintendo Online out tomorrow. SNES Switch controller is coming for the price here somewhere if I can find it.
It's 40. $39.
$40 Australian.
Only if you've got
online membership.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, Nintendo Online. Yeah. This is what they did for that last one too, for the NES controller. They were like, hey, you got to pay for online and then you got to pay like $100 or whatever it was because they were 2 controllers or whatever. I don't care for the controller personally, but this is a lot more interesting than the current selection of games that are online. I haven't really cared for any of those, but SNES games is where I start to actually at least be interested in the games. Now, there's never going to be a time where I actually sit down and play through any of these start to finish, I doubt, because there's always new stuff to be playing and whatever else. But the SNES collection of games, which it does actually have the full list here, so I can kind of go, this is what's going to be available day one starting from tomorrow. Out now by the time you're listening, obviously. Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Stunt Race FX, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, aka Star. What the fuck's it called here again? Star. Fuck, I'm mental blanking. You know what I mean. Kirby's Dream Course. Lyle was, thank you. Kirby's Dream Course. Brawl Brothers, Breath of Fire, Demon's Crest, John Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, Super EDF Earth Defense Force, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Puyo Puyo 2, available for the first time in Europe, Super Soccer, and Super Tennis. So out of the ones here that would be cool to play, straight away I'm like Breath of Fire, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, Star Fox, Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, original Mario Kart, Mario World. Straight away, there's.
I mean, at least half of these are on the SNES Mini, so that's interesting.
But I don't want a fucking SNES Mini when I can play this thing on the go.
Yeah, that's true. You can play them on the Switch.
Take it wherever I want to do and whatever else I want to do. So yeah, I don't have a SNES Mini. I never cared to buy any of those things. The only time I would have brought one would have been like my PlayStation thing. I'd just buy it if I saw it for like $20-$30
The
only reason I brought my PlayStation Classic was because it was $30 or whatever. And I basically brought it as it'll look cool on a shelf item, you know. $30 is the price I'm willing to pay for like a pop vinyl. So same sort of price. It sits the thing. But yeah, some of these are actually ones I'd be more interested in playing. Does any of this intrigue you at all, or you're like, nah, wouldn't play any of this shit?
No, I mean, I might try some stuff out, like the tennis and the soccer and stuff. So easy. Simple pick up and play.
You don't have to commit. You're like, I got to finish this game.
I'm looking at this controller. I'm like, I wonder how usable it'll be in other content. Not
terrible, I presume. It's basically just for this. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, because it doesn't have an analog stick is probably the only drawback. Otherwise, you'll be able to use it on pretty much everything because it's got all the buttons.
It depends on the game, I guess. Like your side scrolly platforming stuff, then I guess you could use it playing your Mario. Super Mario Maker levels type stuff, I guess. Like some of it would work out there.
The $40 for a wireless controller, as opposed
to a pro controller, I guess. But if you don't have online membership, then by the time you pay for that,
you can't get it. So
everything else. So yeah, I don't know.
If you go to Twitch, if you've got Twitch Prime, you've still got time to redeem your free year of membership
now
till the end of September because I just redeemed.
Okay, very good. I was about to say I knew it was September something, but I didn't know when it was up. But
September 25th. Okay. And if you've got Twitch Prime, you should leave. You've got a subscription.
Twitch.tv/Explosion Network.
Yeah, give us a sub.
We'll get back to streaming more soon. I promise.
Maybe.
Tetris 99 gets a new mode. So interestingly, the new mode is for winners only. I kind of like this though. So I can't remember. I have that.
The new mode is for good players.
Yeah, basically. I was like, what is it actually called here? I've got it here. It'll be in this fucking thing somewhere.
Invictus mode.
Invictus. Yeah. So it's like the only way you get to play it is if you've won the game before, which I think is actually really good to me and other people like me who haven't won.
Because then all the players who've won will get put in the same separate group.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. You know, if these people all fuck off and they're playing.
So the rest of us have a chance.
So, here's the full thing. So, version 2.0 plus DLC update. The digital version of Tetris 99 is getting an update. Tetris 99 Invictus mode is here, but it's not for the faint of heart. Players can't even play it unless they achieve Tetris Maximus status, which means getting first place at least once in the traditional online mode of Tetris 99. In addition to Invictus mode, daily missions will be added to Tetris 99 for everyone to enjoy. By clearing these missions, players will acquire in-game tickets to exchange for a variety of custom themes to show off accomplishments. New players' icons will be added as well. Beyond all this, the second wave of content is coming for those who purchased the big block DLC in two-player share battle mode. Share Joy-Con controllers for a two-player battle against each other and the CPU. In local arena mode, friends can get together in person to battle via new local wireless multiplayer. The version 2.0 update and new paid DLC for Tetris 99 will launch later today. Also, a physical version of Tetris 99 will be available starting the 20th of September and will be called Old Big Block DLC plus a 12-month individual membership to Nintendo Switch Online. Just lots of cool stuff, I think, honestly. Like, it's funny how this Tetris 99 started as like the reason to subscribe to online, basically. Like, I originally signed up and paid to play this, you know. I didn't have a membership. And I got it basically to play this. Yeah. And in my mind, for $30 a year, I was like, whatever it is. I was like, I mean, if I 20 or whatever, I was like, you know, I'll probably play this every now and then, sure. But yeah, I kind of love how they keep supporting this, and all the stuff they're adding is good. You know, get the really good players off into their own mode, make it so people who got sick of losing all the time can come back. People reasons to play daily rewards, local multiplayer stuff. They added in the classic Tetris mode. I remember like a couple months ago, whatever it was. So this Tetris 99 is just becoming like this ultimate Tetris game that if you don't have it in Switch at all points in time, you're doing it wrong, I think. You know, it should just always be on there. Don't get rid of it. Next thing they announced was Mario and Sonic Olympics at the Tokyo Olympics Games 2020 is getting a story mode, which sends you through the 8-bit era or something like this or whatever. All the characters get sucked.
Apparently it's based on Tokyo 1964 or 56, one or the other.
Which is what? What's that? Right.
Yeah. That was like that was when Tokyo last held the Olympics. So it's some sort of story involving that, which doesn't make any sense.
No, I was about to say nothing that you're saying makes any sense.
Yeah.
It says, in addition to playing classic multiplayer events in Mario, Sonic, and all their friends, Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 also features a single-player mode, new minigames, and 10 retro-style events. These new events are displayed in old-school 2D graphics, perfect for the retro fans around the world. Mario and Sonic at Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 goes for the gold medal in Australia and New Zealand 8th of November. Yeah, so that story mode, I was like, cool. I guess it's good that there's a single player reason to play this somewhat, but at the same time, I'm like, meh. And then also like all the retro style events, I'm also like, don't really care, to be honest. Like, I know being retro is kind of in, I guess, at the moment. Like, it's a thing, but yeah, I don't particularly care. I'd rather just play it for the, you know, the normal stuff, quote unquote normal stuff.
Yeah.
So next thing they showed was Daemon X Machina prologue demo is coming out. So Daemon X Daemon Ex Machina is coming out, of course, in a couple of weeks. So this new action shooter launches on the 13th of September. But players who want to take those powerful arsenals for a spin can try out the free demo version of the game starting today. In the prologue demo, players will pilot their mechs through the beginning of the game, and all progress earned will carry over to the main game. A key feature of the demo is the ability to play in co-op mode up to 4 players. I think that's good that they're putting out a demo for this game, because obviously this game is kind of been like it's just like, where does this fit? Like, are people interested in this? I never see really any intrigue in it. I've always had a level of interest, I would say, like somewhat. I tried out the original demo, wasn't super happy. But then they took on a lot of the criticism that people had for it, and they actually fixed a lot of that stuff, which they showed off at E3 early in the year. And I was like, yeah, we heard what people complained about. We fixed this, we changed this. I'm like, at least they're listening. That's great. So I'm probably going to try this one out as well. Whether or not I actually get to the actual game is kind of like up in there completely, because it's coming out at such a fucking shit time, really. You know, it's coming out 13th September.
It's out next week.
You're up against Borderlands and whatever else. So, and then the stuff that's coming out the week after and the week before and whatever, like there's just heaps coming out. So either way, demo now might help get more people interested. Next thing they announced was Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is coming September 24th.
What?
This game is also coming to consoles and stuff as well. So not just Nintendo Switch, which is good. So straight away I can say, as much as, you know, All Around Explosion, it starts next week, right? Starts in a couple days. You're listening to this. Love Star Wars. Big fan of the Yodas and lightsabers and stuff like that. I never played this game. I understand that it's a game that a lot of people consider like, oh, you know, it's up there, one of the best games ever. It was a fucking GameCube game. When was I playing this? I didn't have a GameCube. We're like,
why not?
What do you mean, why not? Did you have a GameCube?
No. But, I mean, they were inexpensive. You could have had a GameCube. But, yeah, I remember seeing this on, I feel like, at PC and that kind of thing. Always meant to try it out, but never did.
So you keen?
I might have even had a demo disc for at least one of these. So
for the people who don't know, it says Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. May the Force be with this Star Wars classic. Kyle Katarn, agent of the New Republic. It was our only hope to stop a rogue Jedi. Get your lightsaber at the ready. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi a million times in the fucking thing. Is out 24th of September. So this game was
my question. Why?
Well, I think they also announced that they're putting out Jedi. What is the one? I can't remember the name. Whatever one follows this, that's coming out early next year as well. So they're apparently just reworking a bunch of them. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's like, will I play it? Maybe. I understand that it's beloved and I'm sure it's good and everything, but at the same time, I don't have a super interest in playing a lot of these older Star Wars games. And then also the problem I have with a lot of these games getting released is it fuels a fire of a particular section of Star Wars fandom, because this shit comes out.
Is it canon?
Well, not just that stuff, which people then get confused about. They're like, is this canon or not? But the people, like, this stuff comes out and they're like, this game's the best. This is better than the story in this is better than any of the movies we've got. Disney sucks. That audience.
Why would you release this 2 months before Fallen Order?
I don't know. I don't think Disney would have had to say.
I can understand why they put it on. That's why I thought it was fine. It was coming on the Switch. If it was just going on the Switch, because they're not going to get Fallen Order on that, would all be fine. It's like, here, have a Star Wars thing before the next Star Wars movie. Get your fix of lightsabers and shit. But if it's coming on everything, it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite weird.
Is Kyle Katarn going to have a TV series? Is he going to be in canon? Is he the one that the Benioff and wife series is about?
Please don't. We'd all have a heart attack.
Is that who Ryan Johnson's doing a series about?
Please no. Okay.
Is he in The Mandalorian? Who knows?
So then they did a montage of stuff. So they showed Witcher 3, which still looks like crap, but
I mean, they chose better shots this time.
It's still rough to watch. It's still hard. They then announced I never heard that this was, maybe it was announced before and I didn't know, but they showed
it was rumored.
Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection, which is the pirate collection of games, basically. Then they showed Dauntless is coming, and it will actually still like the PC, Xbox, PS4. It's
Cross-save,
cross-save, cross-play,
cross
everything. So that's cool. Yep. Then they showed Just Dance, Grid, Farming Simulator 2020, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, NBA 2K Loot Simulator, Call of the Cthulhu, The Outer Wilds, Devil May Cry 2. World, sorry. Fuck my life. I fucking hate that game. I hope it's good, but Jesus Christ. Devil May Cry 2 and Vampire.
That was random too.
Which one?
Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, I mean, Devil May Cry 1 or 3 or whatever just came out like a couple weeks ago. Or like last month. Randomly got ported over to Switch or something. I remember seeing, so I don't really know. And then the final 2 announcements, finally. So the first thing was a rather lengthy video of Animal Crossing New Horizons. And how long do you reckon this was, actually? It was definitely the longest thing, right?
I feel like it was. Let me have a quick look.
I find it hard to believe it wasn't the longest thing actually showing the whole thing. So the thing says here, players join the deserted island.
I mean, it was like 5 minutes.
Quite long for everything else, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not saying long as in I was bored. It was just noticeable how it was. It wasn't just a trailer or something. It was like a video section thing, like an actual look at gameplay and explanation and this sort of thing. But players join the deserted island getaway package by Nook Incorporated and started relaxing new life full of creativity, charm, and freedom in this next installment of Animal Crossing series. So what they showed off was a whole bunch of gameplay stuff, but then they also announced that you're going to be able to play 8 players online together and you're going to be able to play 4-player locally. And then on top of that, they showed, I guess it was, because I've never played one of these games, but I do understand how they work and everything. But a lot of what they showed, I guess, would have been targeted towards more people who don't understand what this game is. Because they're like, hey, here's how the game starts. You put on an island, you put down a tent, you go up to a tree, you shake it, you get a stick. Use the stick to build an axe. Use the axe to chop down other things, and then use those things to build other things, and so on and so forth, and whatever else. Like, it seemed very much like, hey, new players, get interested in Animal Crossing, this sort of thing. Either way, I like what I saw. I like the variation, I like how in this game too you got so much more customization for your character, like costumes and all this sort of stuff. I loved all the different stuff we're getting there. I liked all the weather stuff. I liked the really beautiful shots that they were showing, like the behind the characters ones, like when they're watching the sun go down and this sort of stuff. I was like, oh, this stuff is quite pretty and whatever else. This game just looks like a relaxing, great time, you know? And I'm keen for this one. And I'm more interested in this than I am for something like Stardew Valley, for example. You know? Stardew, sorry. I always say Stardew. Stardew Valley, right? Farming Simulator, I'm fine. I could do without that, right? This one is more up Marley because it's just like a bit more variety, a little bit more cuter. I like the animal characters. You know, I just feel like this ticks my box, and I'm definitely very keen for this. I liked everything I saw. How about you?
I mean, it looks like an Animal Crossing game. I'm interested to see how much there is AI characters, I guess, in the game. Because I feel like that was a big thing for the previous games. But if you're on a deserted island, that gives the impression that there's nobody else there.
Not unless your friends
visit. You get other people. Yeah. Not unless your friends visit, which I guess.
You wouldn't want to play with me?
How are you going to have people visit all the time?
That's very rude, Ash.
I mean, do we have to show up at the same time, or can I just show up in your game and like?
No, I guess I invite you. I'm like,
apples or something.
Invite you to come play in my.
But I feel like the original games like were involved gifting your neighbors stuff.
I presume it still has that, but that'd be different. You know, I boot up my game. It's like you've got your present, and it's like, oh, Ash left you this or whatever, delivered it like a mystery, whatever thing, and you write letters and whatever else. But I think for like have everyone come into your game, 8-player online co-op thing. That's definitely like. Invite all your fucking friends. I don't have 7 friends, but let's just calm the fuck down. All these games these days, like you can play online 8-player co-op. Look, okay, real people don't have that many friends. It's fucking ridiculous the amount of shame these games are making me feel these days. For that. But it looked really good. I can't wait. And then the last thing they showed, I would say like I was blown away. Like, oh my god. I'm so shocked that we see this. I'm super excited. And that's because I have no attachment to the franchise. But I will say that I'm probably keen to play it because I never played it back in the day. So what they announced was that, what's the official title as well? Is it just remaster or
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition?
There we go. Thank you very much. So Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, originally released for the Wii, this game, which is why I never played it. Because as much as I played my Wii, I didn't want to play a huge... I wasn't a big Wii fan. I wasn't a big Wii U fan. I like the Wii more than Wii U. That's pretty much known at this point how much I dislike the Wii U. But I was like, a big, massive RPG on the Wii, not something I was willing to commit the time to on that particular console, so I never did. But this looks really good, especially, have you seen some of the comparison shots? Like how...
No,
yeah, there's some...
But I imagine they're very much more impressive.
It is. It is looking... a lot better, I think, and very, very good. And also I think because this is another example of a good port over, because we all know, myself included, a lot of Nintendo fans have fell off in the Wii period, I guess, at some point, or the Wii/U area, you know, kind of. I don't think I'm pulling words and thoughts out of their head to say a lot of people alongside myself were like, Nintendo, like you're not doing it here. And then the Switch is like rekindled, right? Cool, we're up here. The Switch has also brought in a lot of new people. The problem with this, of course, is they're making sequels to games that people didn't play, but they keep porting over these games from the Wii U era, and that's kind of fixing the problem. So, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 already exists on the Switch, so they can go back and play the game that started it all, which is good, because the reason I'd have never played Xenoblade Chronicles, whatever it's called. What is that second one called? I don't know.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I thought it had like a name, a sub-name. I need to double check it before I fucking pull things out my ass here. I'll feel terrible. I feel like I'm... Is it just 2? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I thought it had a subtitled name. Okay, there you go. I really thought it had a subtitled name. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. While I'm here, I can say it was released December 1st, 2017. I've never played that or never cared to try it, because as much as someone could tell me, but Dylan, it's like doesn't have the same characters and like it's set in the same world and there is some connection, but you don't need to play the first one to play it. I'm always just like, but I do. Like, but I can't play this without playing the first one. So with the first one coming out, it opens up opportunities, of course. So, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Lots of really exciting RPG stuff all over the Switch too. The Switch is becoming a massive fucking library of old and new RPG things to try out. And that's it. That is it for this Nintendo Switch edition update.
Do you really think that's the last one for the year?
I think that's the last one for the year. I think that would make sense. Well, when would they do one? If they didn't do one now, what month would it be?
I feel like they might do like another indie one before the end of the year.
Yeah, indie one, yes.
Or whether they're all like game focused ones, maybe not like a big multi-game direct.
When I say no more Nintendo directs, I mean these ones, like just directs, the mainline Nintendo directs.
Maybe something end of November, start of December.
No, I reckon we'll get another indie direct. That's fine. I could see a direct. Maybe they do like another Pokemon direct would probably make sense. Maybe Smash Direct potentially if they later in the year want to announce the next fighter pack or something like that. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Town, and I'm like, well, one of those 6-minute mini directs to explain more about Town wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know how much those 6-minute things count as proper directs, but you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as something like this goes, I'm going to say no. I 100% expect another indie direct though. I think the next time you see any big information from Nintendo like this sort of caliber of Nintendo information, it's going to be at the Game Awards. So, like, yeah, because that's kind of what stops up the whole thing. It's like if the Game Awards didn't exist, you'd be like, what month are they going to do it in? And your brain is automatically like, December would make sense. But then it's like, well, the Game Awards in December, so they're not going to do one because they'll show off there. And
they'll show anything important.
Yeah, the last couple of years they've had, close relationship with the Game Awards, of course. Well, I mean, maybe this year it's like Doug Bowser's like, I don't know you, Jeff Keighley. I ain't been your friend. Like that was Reggie's thing. Fuck off. No. But yeah, I expect them to still be at the Game Awards and announcing stuff and whatever else there in full force, because that's how it's been. Thank you for joining us on the couch for this bonus episode of Arcade Couch. Make sure, of course, you head on over to explosionnetwork.com for all our other shows, reviews, news, articles, and much more over there. You can review Arcade Couch on Apple Podcasts or Podchasers to help out the show. Simply review this episode in a tweet it around and say, bonus episodes of Arcade Couch. Who'd have thought that could be a concept? Let me drink my tea and review the tweet, do all the things. You can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at ExplosionPod, and you can join our Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at VivaLadil, VIVAL8DIL. You can follow Ash on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY, and we will see you on Saturday for the normal episode of the week.
The same time, the same couch.
The regular time.